Man, what's good, y'all? High Standard Sports right here, back at with another video, man. We back at it once again. Uh, I know y'all saw the last video I made about the Cowboys and all that just bullshit that was going on. Mike McCarthy, I didn't like the comment he made personally. He said that we had a championship program. Championship programs usually win or go further in the playoffs. We've had, in my opinion, a lot of people's opinion, Super Bowl caliber roster, team talent, however you want to put it, and we just fall short. 3 years in a row, we've been 12-5. That record doesn't show shit, when it comes to the playoffs. I understand the playoffs is a whole different monster when it's time. When it's here, it's here. It's a different ball game. But anywho, he could have just said we got a championship caliber team, and I'm just disappointed that we fell short and moved on. But talk about the I said the Browns, the Texans, and the Ravens, and then I'm gonna talk about the Packers and the 49ers. That was almost an upset. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into this Texans Ravens, man. Man, CJ Stroud, he started out real slow. Real slow. And ultimately he ended up just kind of falling, just kind of crumbling at the kind of like really towards the end. Their defense started to wear them down. Their team just started to wear down as a whole. Like, in the second half, they were battling with them, for the longest. But I just think, with that Ravens defense yesterday, I'm just gonna speak on the defense alone. Um, Yesterday, their defense was just on fire, and they can play any style of defense to me, in my opinion. Lamar, I mean, what can you say? Can't really say nothing bad. I mean, I like Lamar. You can't really say nothing bad about him. I mean, people look at his passing yards, but you got to look at his whole body of work. He had 152 yards with 100 rushing yards on the ground, from a quarterback. And this is in the playoffs. See what I'm saying? And that's amazing. That's incredible. Um, no doubt about it. He played his ass off. He really did. That was all for his offense. That was strictly all on him. Now he's getting the chance to go to take that next step. Go to the AFC Championship game. I personally think whoever gets there this sees the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, they are not going to beat them. They're not just not going to win. I think Lamar's playing too good right now. And then on top of it, the defense, like I said, I think they're very versatile. They can do whatever. They can stop. Like they just know how to stop you. They can stop you and make things uncomfortable. I think whether it's Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, whoever they see in the AFC Championship game, it's a no-go. I feel like they see Josh Allen, he's going to force more turnovers. I think he's going to force way more turnovers than he usually is, make more mistakes. Patrick Mahomes, I just think their receivers are not just going to get that open, and like they did against the Dolphins. I don't think that will happen again. I think they're going to just really minimize Patrick Mahomes a whole lot if they see the Chiefs in the next round. But other than that, okay, but yeah. And I believe the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. This is my personal opinion. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. But moving on to the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Green Bay, y'all showed me a lot, really. Seriously, I'm like, y'all showed me a whole lot this year in these two playoff games. Despite y'all losing yesterday, Green Bay showed me a lot. Jordan Love showed me that he can lead a team, and if you need him to, he probably can get you there. Their team is a very young team. That's the youngest team in the league. Let's not forget that they are the youngest team in the league. Of course, they have some. They have some things they need to work on offensively. I think the receivers are going to have to get a lot better. I personally think Jordan Love needs to get stronger, because he a lot of those throws that he wants to take, he's not. They're not. A lot of times they're not really, in my opinion, as strong as they should be. But yeah. So yesterday it was just the game was just kind of weird. Well, it was just weird how the Packers just, at first they were just really. It seemed like they were just going to just start dominating and taking over the game. Because for a while they were getting so many good plays, and they were just rolling. They were, holding the 49ers at bay, and they really, in the first half, they made Brock Purdy look like a average, typical quarterback. Like they made him look like an average quarterback until it came down to like later, I think like later in the third and in the fourth quarter, they made him look average. Honestly, he did not look up until that point. He didn't look like an MVP candidate at all. I think what it was, they really minimized Debo, and Brandon Ayuk. I really didn't. George Kittle did okay. Christian McCaffrey, he had a pretty solid game, but it wasn't like typically how typical Christian McCaffrey game. But he played pretty solid yesterday. Um, so yeah, that was pretty decent. Jordan Love played good until he made those turnovers, especially that last play. Like he threw the ball, cross his, crossbody, and it was too many. It was too many 49 defenders right there. You know what I mean? I don't know if he just looked at the coverage, got confused, or what, but he just, I don't know. I just didn't understand it. You know what I mean? And then in my opinion, they had the game at a certain point. It was 21-17. They could have ran the ball. Too many mistakes that were costly, and then ultimately made them lose the game. Well, in my opinion, they were starting to look like they were going to get over that hump and just start taking over and dominating the game, but they just could not. They just couldn't do it for some reason. But that comes with time and learning. Like I said, they a youngest team in the league. That's they gonna come back together, and they gonna figure it out. I believe, honestly. Um, I think once Jordan Love meshes more together with those receivers, and they get their timing like on point, just constantly. They have Christian, they can have Christian Watson full time and be healthy all next year. I think that's going to make a big difference. Uh, Aaron Jones was hurt pretty bad, pretty much this season. Who knows? How maybe he'll come back and he can be healthier next year. I think that the Packers could use a little bit more growth on their O line. Maybe possibly bring in a solid veteran that's in his prime, somewhere in his prime. I think that can help them grow. Uh, but I do think the Packers are still gonna go get another receiver though, and of course offensive line. But this is my personal opinion on them. Just I think they need to bring in a veteran, at some point in their line, on their line. But if they don't, they're gonna have the draft. Defensively, I think the Packers need linebackers. They do need linebackers. I think the Packers need to reload on the pass rush again. Well, the style of defense, I think, because they basically, they play a 3-4 base defense. Well, you got Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary coming off the edge. I would like to see them mix their defense up a little bit, go to a 4-3, get you a good DN. You know what I mean? Like get you a good solid DN. Or if you can't do that, just find somebody else, or mold somebody else to come up and play next to Kenny Clark. That can change a lot. You know what I mean? So, and also I think their secondary can get a lot better. I think their secondary can get a little bit better. They're pretty solid. They're solid, but I think they could get better. I like Jair Alexander. Yeah, I can't think of the other guys right now. My bad, but yeah, I think the Packers they're gonna be on their way though. They're gonna be a team you have to watch in the long run. Like honestly, I'm not just saying it. They played 2 road games against 2 of the best teams in the 1 and a 2 seed in back to back on the road. They played a great game, up until until the end. Great game from them though. But their team, they're going to be really really good. I believe so. I honestly believe they're going to be good. Also, do a preview for the day. I think the game starts maybe like a couple of hours or so. Bucks and the Lions. I haven't picked a winner or who I think is going to win. Well, I'm going to say who I think is going to win this game after my point. But I think that the Buccaneers have a good chance of beating them because I think the Achilles heel of the Lions defense is their secondary. And you got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Chase Otton catching the ball. Chase Otton, he's stepped up. He's a solid tight end. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, those guys, they're gonna do what they do. I just don't think their secondary is that good enough to just kind of hold up against those guys. But on the other end, I think the Lions offense is gonna really throw. I think they're gonna really throw some different stuff at their Tampa defense. Like they've been good, they've been pretty solid all year. But I just think they're gonna throw a whole lot at their defense, honestly. It's just gonna be too much, man. I don't see anybody being able to guard Sam Laporta or Amon-Ra St. Brown like that, honestly. I really don't. But hey, we gonna see. But this is my quick review. I'm probably do another video later after the games. Man, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. #Sports, man. We out.